Good morning, Stanton. You saw the other day we saw the Argo Raft. That was a new ship in Star Citizen, and we have tried out the Ares during the free fly event. However, there is also the MISC Odyssey, the newest ship that was announced. And I'm putting together a little video. If you're interested in the MISC Odyssey and you'd like to get one and potentially save a little bit of money at the same time, stay tuned. But this is the newest ship, and this is one that I've heard a lot of people, and I kind of agree in a way of being a Carrack uh, successor, one that'll kind of make Carrack owners consider at least moving on. Would I? I don't know. I do like the idea of the ship. It does look kind of cool as far as what I see on the outside, but the Carrack itself is an awesome ship. It's a ship that I really do enjoy flying. Definitely one that I've only ever flown in game, bought in game, used during an expo. Same with this ship. I don't see myself buying a $700 ship in game when I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford that. Let's be frank. It's an expensive ship for people with the money to spend, and that is not me. But it is a cool looking ship, and so you can see here it's got a lot of write up about this ship, so we can kind of to check out the different features. So we'll go through to the beginning here. It's got 252 SU of dedicated cargo, which is not a massive amount, but it's a lot. It's good for trading. If you would like to do some trading, you'd be able to fit quite a bit in here. And depending on what you're filling it full of, you can actually maybe do pretty good trade runs. But it's a big ship for holding 252 SU of cargo. We're going to go to the weapons and shields. Definitely size 5 guns, and the shields, I'm assuming, are massive as well. This is going to be a ship that is going to be defending itself quite well in the verse. So, really awesome. It's got a hangar that this is where I'd say one of the things that might make it a little bit better than a Carrack is that it has got a hangar that looks, if you're looking at this picture up here, bigger than the Carrack's hangar. Like it'll hold larger ships. Some people wondered if it'll hold even like a prospector. Potentially, I'm not sure. No one really knows, but some people think that it might, based on the dimensions they see. It'll have to do more with the height, but cool looking ship too. You can see it's got two bridges here. It's got like a mining bridge down here and another bridge up here. And mining is another feature we'll get into. Like the Carrack, it's got some medical facilities inside it. So one thing I like about the Carrack is its medical facilities. I love its interior design, and I love the design of their medical area with this little like an airlock in it. So I don't know what this is going to be like, and that's the thing too. No one knows what like this ship is going to be like, and I don't see anyone melting their character by the ship too often because of the fact that you can't fly the ship right now. You can fly your character right now, but kind of a cool little idea, have the medical bays in there. So you're basically making yourself a space station that you can fly around. This is the part that I find kind of cool. So it says here the Odyssey is remarkably self-sufficient thanks to its fully integrated remote-operated mining arm and tractor beam. Extract quantanium and transform it to quantanium fuel with the ship's built-in refinery, meaning you never miss a jump again. So it's got mining. It's got a mining arm, and it's got an extractor beam, and it's got a refinery. But it sounds like it's just quantanium. And if it's just quantanium, can you also then sell the quantanium that you have extracted and refined? If so, that's awesome. That would make a massive amount of money for you. Now, the interesting thing is that beside it is the prospector. So the prospector is working along beside it mining. So if this is cracking asteroids and this is sucking up some of the items, is this also? Because I would wonder if you could also use this as like a mobile mining platform, almost like an Argo Mole or the Orion when it comes out, or the Prospector, but with a built-in refinery like the Orion should have. So very interesting to see what that's going to be like with the mining, but we really don't know much about that. There's going to be an Ask Me Anything kind of deal with the Odyssey, and hopefully we'll get that cleared up, because here it seems to see like it is refining the gas, making quantanium. But we'll find out if there'll be any other types of mining and refining. So if you're extracting, are you losing anything else? and if you're only able to mine the Quantanium and refine it, but maybe you can mine everything else, this is stuff that no one seems to really know about. So we're kind of wondering about that. So we can look at the exploration of the ship, kind of a cutaway here. It's got 3 decks. It's got its aft deck. You can see we've got the gravity generator here. We have the refinery, and we have the main elevator to get up and down. And then over here we have the massive engines, and you can see the opening at the top for the main bay. Down into the deck, we have the bridge up front. You can see we have the weapon stations and bridge. So there's 3 turret stations for remote turrets plus the pilot seat. We have our component access, so kind of like an engineering area here. Escape pods for everyone inside the ship. We have the crew quarters, and we have the mess hall in here. So the crew quarters look similar. Maybe this is like a captain's quarter. Maybe it's a bit bigger. These ones look a bit smaller. Hard to say. We have the elevator again that's going up and down. We have 2 docking collars. Big difference is we have a docking collar for docking to stations, and we have the small docking collar, which is the round docking collars used for things like the Cutlass Red or the Aurora. So you could have a smaller ship dock on one side, a station dock on another. And we have a locker room, and then again the open hangar area, and then we go down to the hangar deck. And this is some part that gets kind of confusing for me when I was looking at this. So starting at the back here, we have a viewing room, which is basically just a nice window room to enjoy the view out of the back of the ship. We have the ship hangar, so the doors that open on the top of the ship will land down here. But store ground vehicles or small ships. That's the part that confuses me, because you can see here vehicle/cargo bay. Store ground vehicles up to 252 SU of cargo, and then we have the vehicle cargo ramp. So we have the ramp here, we have the vehicle bay here. So is this a door that you could drive a vehicle through? Because how do you get a ground vehicle into here? That I don't quite understand at the moment. But I do like the fact that this area, although you would think would be great for cargo because it holds a lot of cargo, is separate from the vehicle storage, as opposed to a ship like the MSR or a Freelancer. There's the vehicle storage and the cargo are separate, very much like a Carrack where you have vehicle storage and cargo separate. So I do like that. I do like keep them separate. I don't want people to think that they should have this all as extra cargo and you have the choice, because this isn't a cargo ship. It's a ship that holds some cargo but vehicles. So look at supplies for your trip plus your vehicles. Elevator there. We have medical facility down at the main floor, which is great because if you're coming up this ramp entering the ship, you want to be able to get to medical facility right away if you need to. And then we have the mining system down there and the mining controls for mining. So pretty cool. And if we look at here, look at how cool this ship looks. A little bit smooth for my liking, but that's, this manufacturer, MISC, makes the smooth kind of flowing, almost Airstream design ships. But the engines are massive. Like if you put this next to any of the ships that I own, my ship would be dwarfed by these little engines here, and I just love how this looks. So that looks really cool here. Nice shot of it in there. We've got the exterior shot here. Little spoiler for atmospheric flight there. Kind of cool. Yeah. I would love it if you could actually exit onto the surface of the ship while it's parked and just kind of walk around the surface. That would be really neat as well. The refinery, which you already saw, the refining. So these are the pictures that we saw earlier here with the shield when you were scrolling up. And this here, look at the size of the ship. I haven't seen any truck like this. It'd be cool if they kind of have that on planet side for doing refueling. Also, looks like they have a pretty cool looking buggy. That might be like the G1 or whatever it is there, climbing in there. But really neat. Go to the specs. 35 meters high, 90 meters wide, 140 meters long, 252 SU cargo, 3 size 5 remote turrets. Massive, massive turrets. Tier 2 medical bed, crew of 6, extra small hangar landing pad. I'd say maybe more small than extra small, maybe not. Size 4 shields. Wow, that's going to take a lot of fire. Mining laser, size 2. Quantum drive, size 3. Fuel tank, size 3. That is the Odyssey. Looking at this, War Bond or concept sales, the war bond sale, $625, $75 more if you're using credit. One thing that I do find kind of interesting, and I'll get into in another video, is that you can't buy a CCU to the war bond like many other ships. CCU is only to the full price of the ship. But clicking on here for more info, the ship will also include lifetime insurance, like any other concept ships. If I go to the RSI website, I'll do that real quick. Go to the pledge store, and we'll go to the ships, and we'll look at the Odyssey here. I will point out one thing. Some people are asking what the minimum crew of the ship is, because if you're looking at potentially operating the ship, do you need a number of people to fly with you? It does say that the crew size, minimum crew of 1. I did see that when I was looking through here, which I found kind of interesting, because I would almost assume that if you want to do something like the mining or refining, that you probably couldn't do that easily with 1 crew, especially if it's specifically for Quantanium. So I don't know if the minimum crew of 1 is just piloting, or if you could really do everything from the pilot seat. So kind of an interesting thing to look at, but that is the MISC Odyssey. So kind of a cool ship. I really would love to check that out. So hopefully not too long, it'll be a ship that you can fly. But if you look at anything like some of the bigger ships, like the Polaris or the Banu Merchantman or the Orion or the Javelin, it's going to be a while before we see the Odyssey. So don't get your hopes up of it being available anytime soon, but hey, we could be pleasantly surprised, because the raft went directly to flyable during the expo, so maybe this is a little farther along than we could have hoped, although you would think they would have a little more interior shots and maybe some more images of it in flight, as opposed to just what you saw during the Inside Star Citizen, the Jack McCleary video. So the MISC Odyssey, an exciting ship, and one that I would absolutely love to own and would be looking at getting in the game. Probably going to be about 30 million, more or less. I could be wrong on that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's that much in game. So we'll have to see when it's available, but until then, we can just kind of look at this. So you tell me what you think. Is this a ship that you are going to get? Is this one that you are interested in? Is this one that you have actually melted your ships and decided you're going to get this as your main ship? If so, what do you think the loaner for the Odyssey is going to be? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, I hope to see you soon in the verse. Thanks for watching. Bye.